Hey everyone, welcome to my crochet stream. So you'll notice that I've got quite the collection here of things on my desk, and let me just explain a few of these. So this section right here is my Cinco de Mayo section because today is Cinco de Mayo, and so I will be doing some shots of tequila, as well as I've made my own margarita mix out of, let's see, it's really not a great mix. It's what I had around, but so I've got some lemonade and Sprite that I mixed together and then mixed it with the tequila. So, hang on. I'm dropping things. I haven't even really been drinking yet, and I'm already dropping things. I don't know how well this bodes for the crochet bit of it, but anyway, I'm going to set this to the side, but I will be doing one right at the beginning. I do want to talk to you guys about a couple of things first, because today's stream, we're going to be doing a pattern. I'm going to show you how we can take the two stitches that we've learned so far, which is the chain stitch and the single crochet, and we're going to put them together to make a pattern. And you can do pretty cool stuff with it. But first, I wanted to show you what I made, these here. So remember last week I was saying that when we learned the hyperbolic crochet, you could make cool stuff with it, like for example jewelry, especially if you have very tiny crochet hooks. And let me show you the hook that I used to make these. This is the size, so just so you can see, very, very small. And I used this yarn, and you can see how it compares to the regular size yarn. Very small. So you do need to work pretty small, so I wouldn't do this until you're probably pretty experienced, because working small like this can be very frustrating if you're starting out. I mean, it can be frustrating if you're used to it and you're good at it, but I just want to show you what you can make with these. So this is 3 rows. I did a foundation chain and regular row 1, and then I did 2 rows of hyperbolic crochet. So really it'd be 4 rows if you counted the foundation chain, but it's 3 rows of hyperbolic crochet, and this is what it makes. And so you can see there, nice little earrings. So I'll be probably giving those as a gift to someone, maybe even one of you. We shall see. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you is this scarf that I made. Now, I used double crochet for this, and we're not learning double crochet until I think next week, actually, we're going to start. But I wanted to show you the pattern in it. So now it's got the colors. We're not looking at the colors. The yarn was already pre-dyed this way. But I want to show you this pattern. See how it's open like this, but very even. This is what we're going to be learning today, but we're going to be using the single crochet to make it so our holes are going to be a little bit smaller. But this is what we're going to be making. So I just wanted you to see, you know, how like a nice scarf could look, you know, like a little open weave, because that's what this is today. So that's what we're going to be learning. All right, so first things first, let's do this shot. All right, so I've got my Charlotte shot glass. I miss Charlotte. I miss you guys. And today I'm actually going to be working with a different color than the green that I've been working with. I brought this gray. It's a wool blend, but I thought it might be easier for you guys to see a little bit than the green. So we're going to try it out. If it doesn't work well, then we will switch back to the green. I've got that here with me too. Okay, so we're going to do the traditional, let's get this salt open, tequila shot. I've got my lime ready. All right, here we go. You ready? Woo! All right, good start. we'll be doing a few more of those. These aren't even the only 2 limes that I have. All right, so let's keep the work surface clean. I just want to wipe up any, I don't want that getting on my crochet. At least while I'm still sober, I'd like to keep everything nice and neat. All right. So you'll notice I've got my scissors here. That's for cutting the yarn later. This is the size hook that I'm going to be using, the one with the ergonomic, this little rubber piece. I like these. This is going to be, let's see, this is a 4mm. I'm not entirely sure why I have this. I should have a different size. Hang on. Let's see what I've got, because that's not the size I want. The size I want is 5. So let's take a look at my set here. Here's a 5. So this is the size that I want. I'm going to use a 5mm. I'll just put this away. I don't need that. I'm really surprised that I pulled out a 4 though. It's not like me to get that wrong. I've got a 6 here, and that's to do my foundation chain, because remember I like to use a little bit higher crochet hook size. And then this is an extra. I don't even know why I have it out. So we'll just put all that away. If you're just joining me, you missed my first shot of tequila, and we are moving on now to the actual crochet bit of the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and get some slack in my yarn. Now, hold on, this is getting stuck in here. The only thing about wool is that sometimes it can get kind of finicky. So sometimes it gets stuck in itself. So let me just see if I can get this bit out, because I don't want to be going and then be spending a lot of time trying to fiddle with this later. In fact, fiddle is a good word, because that's what the term for yarn that is sometimes hard to manage, like maybe if it's got little pieces that come off from it, or it pulls apart really easily, or things like that. It's called fiddly. That's the term, fiddly yarn. So you'll hear sometimes people say, oh, it's being a bit fiddly. That's what that is. All right. If you're just joining me, happy Cinco de Mayo. We are celebrating today. I made a homemade margarita mix. I'm drinking that. Plus, I will be doing shots of tequila throughout the stream today. So we'll see how great my crochet looks by the end. If you want to know the truth, it'll probably look pretty good, because my tension is my worst enemy with crochet. So probably if I drink a bit, there's a chance that I might loosen up some. So, it might actually work out in my favor. Not that I'm recommending that you do drunk crochet. I think there are better ways to loosen up. For example, I'm going to be starting a brand new yoga stream this Thursday night. It's going to be 11 p.m. Eastern time. I know that's a bit late for you Easterners, but I've got a lot of friends on the West Coast, and so I'd like to accommodate them. All right. I think this is enough for now. We've got some bit out here, so we're just gonna throw this over here, and we're gonna go ahead and start. Okay, so remember we start with our slip knot. Sorry, the word just kind of slipped my mind. No pun intended. All right, so remember to make the slip knot. You cross it, and whichever side's on top, this side's on the top, we're going to make a little loop with it. Go underneath the middle of this loop here. So under the underside. Pull this loop up, and then we're going to actually grab both the tail, which is the side that's free, and then the working yarn, which is the side that's attached to the yarn. And we're just going to pull. And I've still got that loop on my fingers. So when we pull, it pulls it tight. And that's a little knot. All right. So for today, we're gonna actually, I'm using my size 6mm to do this bit, and remember I'm actually going to do it over the bigger part, not the smaller part. I'm going to tighten it over that. So I have plenty of slack. Today I'm going to actually do a foundation chain of quite a bit because I want this to look nice and open. So I don't know how many I'm doing. It probably would be helpful to count because we're going to want this to be an even number. Let's see. So to count, you count the little humps there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm on 11. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. See what I mean by fiddly? Let's do 21 again. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. See how far we are. We'll do a couple more. We'll go to 30. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Now, if you're doing single crochet, remember you do 1 extra. If you're doing half double, you do 2. Double crochet is 3 extra. Treble is 4 extra. Now, so we're just doing the single, and I'll remind you guys of that when we actually start doing those other, the other stitches. Okay, so we're going to do 1 extra, and we're going to skip the one we just did. Now, I'm going to switch to my 5mm, and I'm going to go ahead and do a single crochet. We're just going to single crochet all the way across to make a nice border. So I'm skipping first one here. Just remember you go through the hole, yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through both. Through the hole, yarn over again, pull through both. The reason I didn't say yarn over is because it's already right there, but it's yarn over, pull through, yarn over again, pull through both. And we're just going to go all the way across like that. I lost a viewer. I guess they didn't want to watch Drunk Crochet. So who's ever on, you are the winner of getting to watch me crochet when I'm drunk. It probably will take me a bit. I've noticed that lately my tolerance has been getting higher, and I think it's because I've been doing more drinking nights with my friends since the whole Corona thing. Now I got a little bit tight here. That might have been where I stopped, I think, to count. But I think I've built a tolerance. I didn't think that I would be able to do that, especially at my age, but I guess it's possible. Because I was doing some shots and stuff the other night and barely felt it. You know, so who knows? Bodies change, I suppose. I haven't decided if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I'm not a lightweight anymore. Welcome to the stream if you're just joining. I'm already 1 shot down. Tequila. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And I'm drinking my margarita that I made. And we're just doing single crochet right now. Nothing fancy. The same old. That's what we're doing. So I'm using a different color today. I'm using gray. And this is a wool blend made in Turkey. This is actually very nice yarn. And I'm using it for you guys because I love you so much. All right. So once we get across, then that's when we're going to start doing our pattern. So I'll remind you of how to do both of the stitches. Right now we're just creating a base across the bottom. Hang on, I'm going to take that last one out. I think I just went through the wrong hole. I did. Okay. The way I could tell is that the next hump wasn't coming up properly. It didn't look quite right to me, so I knew I must have done something. Don't worry, I'm still quite sober. These are honest mistakes that are going to happen to everyone. They're not drunken errors yet. Okay, so once I get across, I'm going to do my next shot. If I make it across. It's getting quite fiddly towards the end here. Remember, I explained that the word fiddly means that it needs to be fiddled with. It doesn't, it's being finicky. Okay, so all right, my last one. And then I'm going to get some more slack going. This is just like really having issues. Look at that chunk. That is what I'm trying to unravel, so not great. I'm not going to try to unravel it too much. It should come, there we go. It should come pretty easily. We'll just leave that out because it looks like most of the yarn's coming from that area. So, all right, so now we've got this nice row. That's pretty even. It's okay. We're going to hang tight while I do another shot. So cheers, you guys. All right, so like I said, if you're joining me today, Cinco de Mayo, so I'm doing it a little bit different. This is a little bit of a crazy stream from my norm. I don't normally do this, but drinking margaritas and doing shots of tequila. So it is different. And I apologize if you haven't seen me this way before. Today is a fun stream. So we've got the, just to talk a little bit about what we're doing, we've got the single crochet going. And we are getting ready to use a combination of our single crochet and our chain stitch, and we're going to put them together to make a pattern. All right, here we go. So salt, tequila, and lime. This lime is really good. I don't know, they're a little bit different color than normal limes. They're lighter, so I'm thinking they're a different like variety of lime. Delicious is what they are though. All right, so we'll set that to the side. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. So just a refresher, when we go to start the next row, we need to do a chain stitch, and that just allows us to turn it, because as it is right now, it's going left to right, and if you're right-handed, you want to work right to left. So what we're going to do, you pinch This is just a reminder of the chain stitch. Pinch, yarn over, trade pinches, pull through. Now we can turn it. Okay, so we're going to be working right to left. Now it's twisting a little bit now, but it'll get better. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually do a single crochet in the very first hole there, not this first one right here, not that little one that we just made with the chain stitch, but this one here. If you look, see there's these V's. We've got these V's kind of interlocking. That's what we're going through. So we're going to go in this first hole here, pull it through, and now you've got 2 on there. You're going to yarn over, pull through both. Okay, now what we're going to do is a chain stitch. So we're going to start with 1. So 1. So instead of putting through the hole, we're just going to chain stitch it. So we pinch, yarn over, trade pinches, pull through. That's our chain stitch. Okay, then because we just did a chain stitch, that actually counts as 1 crochet. So we're going to skip this next stitch here and go into the next hole. Single crochet, so yarn over, pull through. I've got 2 on there now. Yarn over again, pull through both. And it's being fiddly. There we go. Okay. Now I actually want to get rid of this tail here. It's annoying me a bit. So I'm going to grab a smaller hook. That's probably what I had that other hook out for. I'm going to grab a smaller hook and I'm going to weave it in. It's called weaving in the ends. So all I'm doing is I'm gonna go across the bottom here. So it's on the back side, so I'm gonna put this through the front and then pull it through. And I'm not doing anything fancy. All I'm doing is literally just pulling it through. Go through the other side. And I'm gonna do this probably about 4 or 5 times. Okay, so I think I've got 5 there. I pull it a little bit just to make sure it's nice and stretched out. Now I'm going to go the opposite direction. Pull it through. And what this does is it kind of locks it in place so that when you cut it, it doesn't pull free. Creates like a tension there. And we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. Okay. So we're just going to trim this. All right, now we are free to work with our crochet. Okay, so we did a single crochet. That was where we left off. So now we're going to chain stitch again. So you just yarn over and pull through. That's it. Skip 1, go through the next hole and crochet. Chain, skip 1, go through the next hole. Chain, skip 1, go through the next hole. And we're just going to do that all the way across. And because we have an even number, we should end where we're supposed to. I think. I'm not always great at the counting bit. Usually a pattern will tell you. So if you're reading a pattern, then you don't have to worry necessarily. It's when you're doing it freehand where it becomes a problem. Now, like I said, the scarf that I showed you earlier, it has a double crochet in it. So it's a lot more open. I'm going to show you when we're done here what this looks like. So we're just skipping, going through, doing a single crochet, a chain stitch, skipping, chain stitch, skipping, single crochet, chain stitch. Okay, good. This last one here, oops. Okay, so we'll do our single crochet here at the very end, and we want to turn it, so I'm going to go ahead and do the chain stitch. Alright, now I want to show you, you can actually see the holes. See these holes here? Hold this up. So like you can see that this pattern's starting to form. Now this next time we're going to start skipping 2, so you can really see the pattern. But you can see how it's creating a different look than this first row. Alright, so we already chained. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and crochet in that very first one. Then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Okay, so now we're going to skip 2 because we chained 2. So the chain counts as a stitch. So we've got 1, 2. Let's see. This is where it starts to get a little confusing. So we've got 1, 2, 3. All right. So we go through there. Yarn over, pull through, and now look, you can see that's a much bigger hole. So chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to skip 2, 1, 2. So we'll go in 3 here. One, 2, skip 2, 1, 2. And see, you're just looking for that V at the top. One, 2. And I did 30, so this should be fine because we should have 30 stitches across, which is divisible by 3. 1, 2, 3. That is something to keep in mind. If you're going to do more, you need to make sure that your math lines up. Because I'm skipping, I automatically want to do 1, 2, 3. Want to do a double crochet because double crochet is really more made for this. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. We do 1, 2, skip 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, skip 1, 2, 3. All right, last little bit. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, go ahead and chain 1 so that we can turn it. Now, take a look at that. Now you can really see the difference. Right? All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to alternate. So now we're going to go back to 2, and then to 1, and then we'll go backwards again. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and crochet in our first one. Now, here's the tricky bit. We can count 2, 1, 2. We're going to go in this one. The problem is that it's not really a very good stitch because it's a chain stitch. So we can either go into the chain, or, and that might be actually what I do, or you can actually just go into the hole there, and that will make that hole even more apparent. I think I'm going to actually go into the chain though, because I think it'll be easier going between 2s and 3s. So I'm going to count. Got 1, 2. So I'm going into the second one because I only chained 1. Chain 1. Then I'm going to do 1, 2. Chain 1. Don't forget your chain 1. That's important. 1, 2. Now you don't have to go back. You could continue doing 3. And in fact, it's a lot easier when you do 3 because once you have these holes, you can see very easily where your post is. So this is the post here, right there. So you can just go right into that big hole right there that's showing. See? There it is. There it is. So you could do that. All right. 1, 2. Let me get some slack here. Ooh, I am starting to feel that alcohol now. 2 shots and some margaritas. All right. Okay. One, 2. One, 2. 1, 2. Now when you go into your chain stitch, you're only going into 1 hoop. That's why some people choose to go into the hole rather than going into the stitch. 1, 2. Because then it just looks sturdier. Maybe we'll try that on the next round. 1, 2. Because the next round we're going to be doing crocheting all the way across. One, 2. Oops. It is not wanting to go in that hole. Come on. Got it. I got it. 1, 2. It's always nice when it's going into the actual crochet stitch because that's the easiest one. 1, 2. almost done. 1, 2. I just want to make this pattern for you guys. I want you to see how cool it looks. Okay, 1, 2. Last one. All right, we're going to go ahead and chain 1 so we can turn. And now, so you can see, you can start to see the pattern coming. So now we're going to do a single crochet all the way across. All right. So we're going to go in that first one. Now I told you that we were going to go ahead and do in the hole this time. So now instead of going through the crochet stitch, you just go right in that hole and do your single crochet. Then you go in the stitch, single crochet, then you go in the hole, single crochet. And it's just going to go like that all the way across. Go in the stitch, and go in the hole. All right, let me get a little bit, my tension's starting to get kind of wonky. So let me get some slack here. All right. All right, we're going in every single one. So we're in the stitch, in the hole, in the stitch, in the hole, in the stitch, in the hole, and we're just going to do this all the way across. Oops, something didn't happen right there because it's not pulling through. Oh, I told you this yarn is fiddly. I went through the wrong bit and it was pulling. If you get lost and you're not sure what you did last, just try to look at the shapes of things, because the holes and the stitches are shaped differently, right? The hole should be like a little bit more open and square. Man. Today's a slow day. It's quite all right. Something happened here. I don't know what. I'm gonna do my best. Wait a minute. I just undid a little bit because I couldn't really see the difference between my hole and my stitch, but I see it now. It just got spread out somehow. I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Now when you get to the end, you've got a hole and you've got a stitch. So I want to show you the pattern that we've created. So look at that. I'll show you the other side because there is a right side and a wrong side. This is a wrong side. And you'll see that the pattern looks more interesting from this side. So we could keep going like this. So we could do, we could go back into 2. We could do another row of 1 and make that like a thicker bit, and then do 2, 3, 2, 1. Again. There's a lot of different things we could do. So I'm not going to do that much more on this. I think that's pretty good. We're going to try, I'm going to actually finish this off. And we're going to try something new. I'm going to try a new combination. All right, so let's go ahead, cut this. Oops. Okay. And actually, I need to undo because I forgot that I had already done my chain stitch for the next row. So you want to undo that chain stitch when you're tightening, when you're finishing off. Okay, I'm going to get a smaller crochet hook. I usually go one size down, and I'm going to pull through. So remember, I'm just going back and forth. Oops. It's that fiddly yarn. Fiddly is such a funny word, I think. You know, I don't know. Sounds like a nursery rhyme kind of word. All right, I'm going to come back the other way. And then I can cut. So there we go. Now, I did this wide enough that we could combine this and make that into like a bracelet or something. And in fact, you can put wire. You can put wire through here, make it a bracelet, and then it's actually like a nice sturdy bracelet. And I would just weave the wire through there, through each side, like one on each side. And that would be something good you could do to make this into something, you know, anything. You could also wash this. Because it's got wool in it, it's going to shrink up a little bit when you wash it, and you'll lose some of the holes, but you'll still see the pattern, and you can make it into a bookmark. So that would be something interesting too. So you can do some fun things. Okay, we're going to try a new pattern. And in fact, I want to go back to my green. I'm going to go back to my green. I like the green. It's less fiddly. All right. So, I'm going to give you guys a little preview just because today is Cinco de Mayo. I wasn't going to show this until a couple weeks from now. But I really like you guys. You're awesome. And because I've taken a couple of shots and I'm drinking margaritas, I'm feeling pretty friendly right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit of crochet in the round. Okay. So we're going to make our slip knot. So this side is on top. So we're going to make just like a little loop here. Bring it through the bottom. You know what would be really good right now is some chips and salsa. I should go make some salsa. I actually have fresh tomatoes on the vine. Fresh tomatoes. I could go make fresh salsa. I don't have any avocados though. But I could make like a pico de gallo with like tomatoes and onions. I do have onions. Okay. So I'm using my bigger hook. Now we're going to hook 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go back into my very first one. Loop around to my first one. And I'm going to pull this through. But instead of yarning over, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually just continually pull it through this next hole. That is called a slip stitch. It's called a slip stitch, and the reason it's called that is because it just slips right through. It actually makes no, it doesn't make it any higher. So that's a slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this out and use this. All right, so all I did was chain 4, and I'm going to do this again because I think this is important. Okay, hopefully, yep, I still have mine. So we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go back through that very first hole, like the very first one. Yarn over, and then we're basically going to pull through both of them is what we're doing. But if you want to think about it, one more. Nope, not one more. I thought there was. Okay, we're going to pull through the next one. We're not going to yarn over again. That's called a slip stitch. And what you end up with is you end up with a hole. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and single crochet into that hole. So you just go right into the middle of that circle that you just created. So we go in, we pull our yarn through. Now we've got 2 on there. We're going to yarn over, pull through both. Okay, so it's exactly the same, but we're going back into that hole again. So into the hole, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. Okay, and we're going to do that. So we've got 2 on here. We're going to do this 8 times. Okay, so 1, now notice my tail is starting to get caught in here. That's okay. That's actually good. So we're on number 4. 5, 6, 7, oops, failed to complete. All right, 7 and 8. Now we are going to connect these. So we've got this little ring here. We're going to actually connect these. So you're going to go through as if you were crocheting. You're going to go through that very first one, like we're going to single crochet that V there. Yarn over, and we're going to slip stitch. So the slip stitch goes through one, then goes through the other. We don't do a second yarn over. And that joins them together. So now we're in the round. Okay. So I'm teaching you guys how to crochet in the round. This is a surprise. I didn't even know I was going to do this today. Let's just call it a drunk whim because it's Cinco de Mayo and because I'm taking shots of tequila. But it's happening. You are learning a very brand new thing to do. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we have this slip stitch. We're going to chain 1. Now the reason we're chaining, okay, I keep grabbing the tail. That's not okay. Tail, get out of my way. All right. So we're going to chain 1. Now, instead of this turning, because we're already here, this is going to actually count as a crochet, as a single crochet. We're going to go into that same hole, pull through again, and do another crochet. Okay, we'll go through the second one, and we're going to do 2. So now we're increasing. 1, 2, we're doubling. We'll go through this third hole. 1, 2. Okay, fourth hole. 1, 2. Now what we should end up with is 16, right? Because we did 8 and we're doing double in each of those 8. So we should have 16. I'm going to have to blow my nose here in a second because that sneeze got some things flowing. Welcome. I have a new viewer. So, new viewer, if you were hoping to catch the beginning of the stream where I did the cool alternating chain stitch and single crochet stitch, you missed out. But now what we're doing is we're learning how to crochet in the round, and this is a surprise. I wasn't actually planning on doing this today, but seeing as I've had a couple of shots and I'm drinking margaritas, I changed my mind. So I'm teaching in the round. Now let's count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have 16. So now we want to join like we did before. So we learned a new stitch today, viewer, if you were just joining. It's called the slip stitch. What we're going to do is you go through like you're going to single crochet and you pull through the hole. But instead of doing your yarn over and everything like that, you're actually just going to pull it through the second hole. So it goes through the hole and it just pulls through both. It doesn't add anything to it. So now we've got double. So look at that. We've got a circle now. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I'm going to get a Kleenex really quick. I sneezed earlier. It's very hot. I just want to mention, I'm in Florida, and I've had my windows open for the last, probably about 4 days. And it's nice, at night especially, it gets cool enough where it's fine to have the windows open. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, wearing pants, it's really not that cool. It's pretty hot. It probably doesn't help that I think alcohol lowers your body temperature. I don't know. It does the opposite of whatever it is that I want it to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we chain 1. That's going to count as our first crochet. We're going to go through that hole again. Oh, nope, sorry. Undo. We chain 1. We're going to actually skip that and go through the second one. And now we're going to actually do our increase every 2. So we're going to increase by doing a second one in there. We're going to go through the next one and just do 1. So 1, 2, 3. So 2 and 3 are in the same hole. 1 is by itself. So 1 is by itself. And then go through the next hole. 2. 3 is through the same hole. Go through the next one. 1. 1 is by itself. Then 2. 3 is in the same hole. Go through the next one. 1. 2, 3 is in the same hole. 1, 2, 3 is in the same hole. Now what this is going to do is this is going to give us 16 plus 8, so 24. So if we count, we should have 24. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, we've got to get some slack. Come on. Hang on, my yarn is all tangled up in itself. So give me just a minute to untangle my yarn. This happens sometimes. All right, here, I'll do it on camera so you can see what I'm doing. So the yarn is tangled up right here. So sometimes just pulling will loosen it up, and it did. Thank goodness. Sometimes you got to actually like fiddle with it, but sometimes they just got stuck together, and basically what happens is they rub so much against each other that then they become stuck, so you just have to pop them apart. Okay, so let's count and see how many we have. So we've got 1, 2, 3, wait a minute. I always count my single crochet. Single crochet is a lot harder to do in the round. That's why I had saved it for when I teach you guys double crochet, because double crochet is a lot easier to see. But let's see if I can figure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Look at that. So we're right at the end. So what we want to do is we want to find this the little guy down here. It was our one little slip knot. Chain stitch. And we're going to pull through both slip knot. And there you go. So now, if you can guess, we did 2, 2, 2, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. So now we're going to do 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. And you just keep adding the 1 in there. So now we're doing 4. So we're going to chain stitch, go in the next one. That's 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 are going to be in the same one. 3, 4. So 1 starts over, 1, 2, 3, 4 is in the same one. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 are in the same one. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is in the same one. Now, we're adding another 8 to this. So 8 plus 24 is 32. Oh, hold on. I think what's happening with my yarn is that the beginning part of the yarn is mixing with the ending part of the yarn. This happens sometimes. It depends on how they roll the ball. It's called winding. Okay. Go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is in the same one. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is in the same one. 1, 2, 3, 4 is in the same one. Now I should be at 32, so we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. How about that? Even though I'm a little bit tipsy, I'm still counting correctly. Always a good show. All right. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to slip stitch, which means pull through one, pull through the next one. We're not doing any yarning over. All right. Now I'm going to stop here because I want to show you what we've got. All right, so we've got this nice round bit, right? You keep counting. This is important. So you can know by the number of rows. So you don't count your first one. You don't count that middle bit there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that lets you know that number 4, stitch number 4, is the one that's the double. So now we're going to be going on row 5. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is going to be our next start. So that means that number 5 is going to be the ones that's the double, which means you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 are going to be together. So that's how you can tell where you are. You don't count this first little hole there, that first bit. You start with the next row. So there's the first bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you can tell. All right. I'm going to stop for just a second. So what we've gone over today, I want to just double check and make sure everybody's got what we've done today. So we did this pattern. That's the right side. So we did this pattern, and what we did is we did a single crochet across our foundation. Then we skipped. So we combined our single crochet stitch, I can say that, and our chain stitch. So we crocheted one, chained one. You skip a crochet, crochet one, chain one, skip a crochet, crochet one, chain one. And the reason you skip that little crochet is because your chain one counts as a whole stitch. Okay, then we skipped 3, and that's why you see these bigger holes here in the middle, because we crocheted one and then chain 2, skip 2, crocheted one, chain 2, skip 2, and so we did that, and so that created an even bigger hole. And just to refresh your memory, now this is using double crochet, but just to refresh your memory, you can get really nice patterning out of this. All this is literally a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. That's all this is. There's no other pattern to this. What makes it look so interesting is the color. And the color came with the yarn. It was like that. Oh, well, hi, Andrew. Welcome. So I'm going to be teaching double crochet. I'm pretty sure I'm starting next week. We shall see. Hang on, I'm going to look. So today's the 5th. Yes, so next week on the 12th, I'm going to actually be starting double crochet. So, and we're going to be doing this. Now, when I'm going to teach you something like this, I'm going to teach you something really, really cool called filet crochet. Filet crochet, which is going to be on the 26th of this month, is awesome. We're going to have graph paper. I actually have graph paper uploaded to my website, so you can download a copy of graph paper and print it out, because you're going to actually plan out words or patterns. You can actually plan out different designs using filet crochet. So this right here, though, is just the basic of what we're doing today. Now, like I said, this is double crochet. However, we did this with single crochet, so you can see the cool pattern you can get just by skipping stitches. So you crochet, chain 1 or chain 2, depending on how much your stitch you want to go, and then skip that number of crochets before crocheting your next bit. All right, then you guys are so lucky, because I've been doing shots of tequila, that I decided to go ahead and early show you how to crochet in the round. All right, so what we did is we started off with 4 stitches. So I'm going to actually cut this here and pull this through. All right, So this is what we've got. Because I love you guys so much, and I've had a little bit to drink. And on that note, I'm going to have a little more. We're going to start this over because I want you to see just how it happens. So we're going to make, now there are two ways to start your crochet in the round. There's something called the magic circle. I'm not going to show that to you yet. I'm going to wait until we do our double crochet and I'll show you the magic circle. Before we do that though, I'm going to show you a very basic way of doing it. Let's make our slip knot. So this is the side that's above, pinch, pull under, pull our two sides. You can go ahead and use, for this purposes, you can use your regular hook. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need to go up a size or anything like that because we're not really using our stitches. Okay, so we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I taught you a new stitch. This is called the slip stitch. You go in the very first one, you yarn over, and then you pull through both that stitch and the stitch that was on your hook. So you don't yarn over again like you would with the crochet. Okay. Then you can just start crocheting in that hole. Now, I did 8 the last time. You could do a different number if you wanted. So like, let's say if we did 6. Let's try that. So you go in, just go in straight into the middle of the hole, pull through, and you're going to crochet like normal. So yarn over, pull through 2. Go through the middle of the hole, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. And we're just going to do this 6 times. I like multiples of 8. I don't know why. You'll see a lot of patterns are multiples of 8, but we've done 3 so far. 4, 5, 6. Here's why I think multiples of 8 work. We did 4 at the beginning. If we had done 3, maybe that would have worked better. But see, we've got all this extra space. Let's just do 8. I think it has something to do with us doing 4 at the beginning. So we'll just go ahead and finish 8. So 2 more. 2, 1. Now we're going to join with our slip stitch. Okay. So we're going to go through that very first stitch, yarn over, pull through 1, pull through the next one. And see, you've already got your round started. Okay. Cheers. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Okay. Now, this is where it gets tricky. So we did that first bit, that's no problem. All we did was single crochet around 8 times. This is where we need to start doubling. We need to start growing exponentially, okay? So, we're going to chain 1. This counts as a stitch. That chain 1 counts as a stitch. We're going to go back into that exact same crochet, single crochet, and we're going to pull through. Well, hold on. It's being fiddly. There we go. And we'll single crochet. So now we've got 2 in the same hole. All right, so we're going to go to the next one, 1. And we're increasing, so we're going to go 2. So we're doubling. So this entire round, we're going to double. We go 1, 2. Let me get a little bit more of our, oops, I'm trying to get some slack here and it is just not happening. Look at that nice knot there. Let's see if we can get that out. Usually what it is that some of the yarn has rubbed up against each other and they've connected, and then everything else just pulls through it. So all you have to do is kind of pull everything loose till you can find exactly what's sticking, and then pull that apart. That's usually the ticket. So let's see. There we go. This is never the fun part of crochet, unless you happen to like puzzles, in which case it can be a bit like a puzzle. Oh, hey, long stand-up meeting. Man, that doesn't sound fun at all. And welcome, Schwadev. So you've missed, oh, here we go. So this is where it's connected. So see these two pieces here? They rubbed up against each other a little too much and they got connected. So all we have to do is just pull. And see, that loosens everything up. So sometimes it's just a little friction. For those of you who are just joining me, I am 2 shots in, 2 shots of tequila, and 2/3 of a margarita. So I'm feeling pretty good. And what we're doing now is we're increasing our surprise crochet in the round pattern. We're increasing this exponentially by 2. All right. So I already have 2 in this hole. So we're going to go in the next hole. 1. Drunk stream for sure. And you know, it's funny because I wasn't planning on doing it until probably about, I don't know, an hour before my stream. I realized that it was Cinco de Mayo. And I have to celebrate. This is normally the day that I celebrate my birthday because my birthday's in 2 days, y'all. May 7th. And normally I try to celebrate my birthday on Cinco de Mayo because that's when everybody else is celebrating. It's great. All right, so we started off with 8. So if we're doubling, that means that we're going to end with 16, right? So we should be able to count and we should be able to get 16. So yeah, since the rest of you guys are at work, then I'm drinking for you, I suppose. Okay, so we've got, let's see if we can count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Look at that, 16. Okay. So we're going to connect. So this is the slip stitch. Remember, I just taught you this stitch. You're going to go through that hole. If I can find the hole, there we go. That was not the right hole. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. This is a very tight hole, so we gotta squeeze in there. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna pull through one, then pull through the second one. And there we go. For sure. All right, we're going to, Neely is right. Yeah. Where is that? Where is that? I'm going to have to add those emojis. Where is that emoji when you need it? Of course, all of you guys subscribe to John. Nobody's going to subscribe to me. My mom and sister have, you know. But yeah, that's a good emoji. It is a good one. Okay. So now, right? Family support. It's important. Okay. So we've chained one. All right. So remember, in the first round, so this is what we're going for here. I already did one. In the first round, we doubled by 2. Now we need to do 3. So here's what's going to happen. And you can tell because we are in 1, 2, 3, third row. Okay? So we're starting the third row. So what we need to do is we've got 1 already with our chain stitch. We go in number 2. And then whatever number row we are on, that's the one that gets doubled. So we're going to go back into number 2 and do our third one. So we go 1 by itself, do 2, and then 3 is going to go in the same hole as number 2. All right, 1, 2, and then 3's in the same hole. Yes, you will find that crochet is full of double entendres. For example, we call ourselves hookers because we use hooks. So yeah, we're full of it. We're full of double entendres in this particular. Okay, wouldn't it be... Oh, you're writing in code. Did I mention that I've had a couple shots of tequila? Actually, you know what? Okay, I just did 2. It's time for another shot. I'm not nearly intoxicated enough. All right, so I need a new lime. Got a new piece of lime. The number of rows times PL. I don't know what that means. Are you making things up, Schwa? Like, if you're on the 3rd layer, your circumference would be something with PL. That's what I said. Oh, PI. Oh, pi! Jeez. All right. Okay, let me do this shot. And then we'll talk about, yes, pi. 314. I got it. Okay. Hang on. All right, you guys ready? It looks like an L. It looks like a lowercase L. I can't help it that the stupid alphabet has an uppercase I and a lowercase L that looks exactly the same. How is this my fault? All right. This is happening. Or at the very least, sans serif. Because serif, you can tell, right? You've got your I, but you've got the bits at the top and the bottom that lets you know that you're dealing with an I and not a lowercase L. So, cheers to whoever created serif for letting us know the difference between an I, a capital I, and a lowercase L. All right. For the first time. Actually, do you know that reading... Okay, so because this is my area of study, is I study UI and UX, and sans serif is good for reading online. Serif is actually better for reading in text. So if your texts are in like a Times New Roman or something like that, that's actually good for your eyes because your eyes will start to blend things together over time. So the serifs actually provide a way to separate the letters. So yeah. Anyway, so text. So there you go. So serif is actually useful for other things, just not online, in text. Physical printed text. I don't know why it's not the same on the screen. I think it's because of the way our eyes blend things together. It actually says this in my books, but I'm mostly tuning out my entire education from this last semester because I'm almost done. So close. almost done with the project, and then I'm done for the semester. And so yeah, I'm not trying to remember all of that. Okay, let's crochet. All right, so here's what you do. So I did 2. So we're on row 3. So we're going 1, and then 2 and 3 are in the same hole. 1, 2, and 3 are in the same hole. Now, you didn't realize that you were coming on a crochet stream and that you were going to get a lesson on typeface. But let me tell you, typeface is really, really interesting. Like, incredibly interesting. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite things about UXD is the kind of type that you use. Just so you know, according to research, Verdana and Georgia are the 2 that are easiest to read on a screen. Next comes Arial, and then, oh hey John, what's up, cuz? John's my cousin. John, just so you know, I've been doing shots of tequila. I don't know how it is in San Antonio, but hopefully Cinco de Mayo is in full force. I mean, I guess not really during Corona. I guess nobody's doing anything during Corona. But you can have a Corona on Cinco de Mayo. So there you go. Comic Sans. Comic Sans. I don't know that I know that one. I mean, like, not off the top of my head. Like, I know what Ariel looks like. I know what Verdana looks like. Obviously, I know what Times looks like because... Sorry, I don't have all of my fonts memorized. Okay, I'm Googling Comic Sans. Hold on. You guys are going to Google with me. All right. So let's see. What's the best place to look? Do we want to look under images? Let the hate flow through me. What is wrong with Comic Sans? Like the very first thing. Okay, hold on. What is wrong with Comic Sans? Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is what we would call a specialty font. Because it is technically a sans serif because it doesn't have serifs, but because it's got like these weird curves, because it's got these weird curves here and like these misshapen, like odd shapes. Yeah, like the D. I mean, this looks handwritten, right? So, yeah. So this would be considered a specialty font. This would not be a typical sans serif. We would not consider that. And maybe because it's called comic, maybe it's supposed to be funny. I don't know. It is funny. So there's that. All right. Now I know. Okay, so the problem is that business used it so much in the 2000s, and they didn't know anything about design, right? The comic font, but they would use it for serious things. Oh God, comic book lettering. Yes, that's what it looks like, is comic book lettering. Very good. Well, I would expect John to know that since he is a comic artist, technically, right? I mean, he's got his own comic out there. What is it, Ghetto Ninjas? So when you guys see the name Ghetto Ninjas, no, that's my cousin. He's awesome. He is an awesome artist. Okay. I have one more sip and I'm done with margaritas, so making that happen. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely into the tipsy realm because I just spilled water on myself when I was drinking water. So, all right, we're going to count. So we had 8 to start with, then 16, Now we should have 24, because since we're doing every third as a double, then we should just be adding 8 to this, to the 16. So 1, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. How about that? All right, so we're going to do a slip knot. So we're going to try to squeeze it in that hole there. There we go. Yarn over. It's really tight. Hold on. Pull. Hold on, it doesn't want to slip knot. Okay, there we go. So pull it to the next one, and there we go. Now, go ahead and chain 1. I mean, I could be talking about the band. I like Slipknot, so it's entirely possible, but I wasn't. I was talking about, actually, did I even say did I say Slipknot? I meant slip stitch. So I didn't even say the correct thing if I said Slipknot. What's wrong with Slipknot? You got to give me a really good answer on this. Whack. Your face is whack. You better give me a good reason why I shouldn't like Slipknot. All right. I get offended when you say things. It's because I take you very seriously, Schwa. Your opinion means so much to me. And I value it so highly that if you say something that's negative, then I take it personally. That's why. All right. So now we're on 4. So we go 1, 2. The 4 is the double one, so we're going to go 3 and then 4 in the same hole. 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 are in the same hole, so 3 and then 4. Is that weird to you that someone values your opinion that highly? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So we're adding 8 more to the 24, so we should have 32. 3. Because you're the second coming. 1, 2. I should keep my mouth shut, but I'm not going to. I'm going to tell you guys, if you haven't seen Schwadev's stream, you need to. He is effing amazing. He is a really good streamer. He's talking about great things. He's making great things. And I'm officially promoting his stream as the most non-programming programmer ever. He is the second coming. I believe that. All right. So 1, 2, 3. And look, he's humble too. How sweet is that? Oh my goodness. The Canadians. You gotta love them. I mean, no, you have to love them. It's like an unwritten rule. Uh-oh, hold on. I think I got off count. Hang on. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Okay, so I just double in the one that I'm in. I'm good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. Just double in the one I'm in. Okay. 32. So we're going to join these. So sometimes if the hole is too tight, you just got to use your finger and just pull it over a little bit. Hold on. So you just put the hook there and just pull your finger over the stitch. All right. Then we're going to pull it through the second hole. Sorry, I lost it. I slipped out. It happens. Okay. So we're going to yeah, something like that. All right, so now we have, look, they're the exact same size because I stopped at 24. I mean at 32. So I'm going to do the same here. All right. So let's just talk about what we did. Let's just talk about this. Yeah, Brendan has already had a field day with my crochet double entendres. I feel like he may be avoiding it on purpose because of all of the double entendres. That's my feeling, because he hasn't been to a crochet stream since my very first one. So yeah, he still comes to some of my other streams, but not my crochet streams. So I think that maybe it's a little bit too much for him. So, all right. Well, you can see that this one, crocheting and plumbing have similar terms. Do they? Now that's interesting. I did not know that. So this one actually looks a little tighter than this one, which is interesting. Which one did I do last? Usually when I drink, or anything, if I drink or if I take like a benzo or something like that, my tension gets considerably looser, right? I mean, that would make sense because I'm less stressed or whatever. So this one is more likely the first one that I did. This one is the second one that I did because it's a little tiny bit bigger. Obviously, it's not as tight. So in this particular case, I want to say that my non-drunk circle actually looks better than my drunk circle. But that's not always the case. I mean, seriously, sometimes being a little bit more relaxed helps your tension and actually helps things look a little better. So this was the first piece that we did that almost everybody missed. This was showing how we can create a pattern using the different stitches that we know. And since we only know 2 stitches, you would think, what kind of pattern can you create with just a single crochet stitch and a chain stitch? But you can create awesome patterns. Look at that. Look at that. I am a little tipsy. I would not say that I'm drunk. I'm tipsy. That's for sure. I mean, 3 shots of tequila and a margarita in. I'm okay. And, you know, I'm only, an hour and a half in. I showed these at the beginning of the stream, but I want to show them again. I made these earrings out of the hyperbolic crochet that we did last week. So remember, hyperbolic crochet is increasing exponentially, which means that the first row is a single row. The second row is increasing by 2. The third row is increasing by 2 again, which means that you're now doubling the first row by 4. That would not be doubling, you're multiplying. Then you double again, so by 8, and so forth and so on, and it keeps doubling exponentially. And this one is just 3. So we did a single row, a double row, and then a quadruple row, and that's what created these. So you can see nice little earrings here. So that's what you can make with the with the hyperbolic crochet. You can do cool stuff with it, man. Look at that, earrings. All right. I can't believe you told me to go home, Schwa. I'm offended. I take you so seriously. All right. It has been an hour and 40 minutes, which is a long time for my crochet streams. So I can probably wrap it up. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and you are always very serious. No, that's not true. You joke around a lot. You're great. Okay. I'm not going to gush too much on stream about how much I love Schwa and how great he is. I won't do that to you guys. But let's just say that I'm going to talk about my birthday stream. My birthday is in 2 days. Dios. Is that? Nope, that's God. That's two gods. Hold on. What is day? No, it is Dios. Dia. I don't know Spanish, so forgive me on Cinco de Mayo that I don't know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. Buenos dias. Right. So dias, not Dios, because Dios is gods. So dos Dios would be two gods. And we do actually have two right here in the stream. Schwa. Dos Dios. But but we want to talk about dias. So in 2 dias, we have, no, I'm God number 1. Get this straight, Schwa. I don't understand how you've missed all of my posts. No, John is a minor deity. We're the 2 main ones. I don't know why I'm having to explain this to a fellow Dios. Okay. All right. 2 dias. My birthday. Thursday, May 7th. All right. So I'm going to be doing a yoga stream. It will not be a drunk stream. I just want to make that clear to everyone that I will be 100% sober for yoga. That it is very serious and calming and relaxing. I'm going to be doing restorative yoga on May 7th at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, a badass eraser. Oh, that's so sweet. I love badass erasers. That actually will probably come in handy. Thank you, John. So sweet. Is that why you asked me for my address? You're so sweet. Okay. Yoga stream, 11 p.m. this Thursday. I've already got it posted in my offline view on my Twitch page. We're going to be doing what's called restorative yoga. Now, this is what's important. So regular yoga, you know, you've got all the different moves, you know, warrior, mountain, whatever. We might actually be doing mountain because mountain's pretty chill. But warrior is not chill at all. Triangle is not chill. These are not chill poses. We're not doing those. We're doing chill poses. So we're going to be doing things like the mountain pose, as I explained, forward fold, sun salutation, shavasana, which is the corpse pose, all kinds of things. Oh, you're going to stalk me. That's why you asked for my address. Well, it's okay. As long as it's my cousin that's stalking me and not some rando, we're good. All right. If you thought that you hated yoga before, as I did, try restorative yoga. Here's why. It's a lot more low-key. It's chill. We're going to be doing it right here in this area behind me. I barely know what I'm doing. I'm mostly doing this because I think that I've noticed I hang out with a lot of programmers, and I've noticed that there's been a lack of motivation, although actually it seemed to have, it's like picked up a little bit lately, so that's good. But I think to keep that going, I feel like yoga and guided meditation is really important to everybody's spiritual process as well as their mental process. So I'm going to be leading these yoga and guided meditation streams every Tuesday and Thursday. So we're starting this Thursday because I want everyone to be into this. Like, this is important to me. It's something that I've found has been very stabilizing in my life. It's really helped give me clarity. Mindfulness is a kind of a big deal. And if you can step outside yourself and observe your feelings and your thoughts, it just gives you such mental clarity that it makes your next steps very obvious. So especially if you're concerned about motivation, or you're depressed, or maybe you're thinking that you're not sure what your next step should be, this is a really good time to sit back and reflect. And the best way to do that is through either yoga or guided meditation. So I'm going to start with yoga this Thursday, but I'm going to alternate and probably do some guided meditation and some yoga. Because it's my birthday stream, I'll probably make a big deal about it because birthdays are kind of important, and this is kind of an important year for me. I'm going to be the big 4-2, which sounds really old, but it's actually not. I mean, I'm only half of my life, right? You know, so like, that's not old at all. I think that, I don't know. To me, this seems like a seminal year. Like big things are going to happen for me this year, and they already have, really. So I think that I want to mark this occasion with something special, and yoga is special to me. Which is, if you heard me even 6 months ago, you would not have thought that I would say this, because I used to really hate yoga. But that's because I didn't understand what restorative yoga was. And there's different kinds of yoga, and I encourage you to join me this Thursday night. Like I said, it's 11 p.m. Eastern, which would be 8 p.m. Pacific. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. So, okay. So we've got that. In addition to that, this coming Friday, we are going to start the lily pad series. It's only a 2-day series. We're going to do lily pads we're going to draw lily pads on Friday. It is the year of Sarah. You have no idea. You're going to feel it. It is the year of Sarah. Then Saturday, we're going to actually do watercolor lily pads, which I've done multiple times. I've done this class. It's really fun. I think you'll enjoy it. So please join me this Thursday at, like I said, 11 p.m. Eastern, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Those are the times. So if you don't want to have to remember all of that, you can click on the schedule button at the bottom of my page, and that will take you directly to my calendar. Or if you notice, there's this really fancy, let's see if I can point to it. Right there. Boop, boop. My Discord channel, which also there's a button at the bottom of my screen. My Discord channel is a great place to go where you can chat with other artists. You can upload, if you've been following me, you can upload your crochet projects and what you've done so far. And also there is a link to my schedule there as well. So join me in Discord. The lovely, I can't, my brain isn't letting me figure out these there we go. Okay, Discord. Join me. All right, it is time for me to go home. So thank you everyone for joining me in my multiple shots of tequila. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Deuces. I will drive safe. No, I will not drive. I promise. Okay.